Skunks really are a good-natured animal. Unfortunately, they've been blessed or cursed with a horrible, horrible scent. Um, and with that, it creates a real problem for them living near our homes because they spray pets and create havoc on the household. So, um, bylaws are different for every county. Um, some require you to release them in certain areas, and some require authorize you to actually kill the animal. But I'm not prepared to do that. Um, so with having this problem, I went on YouTube and studied a bunch of videos made by people who are experts on trapping skunks. And I am not an expert, but I did follow their uh, procedure and was successful in the capture and release now of three skunks so far from my neighborhood. Another thing to consider is that skunks do carry rabies, and they can transmit that to your pets. One of the things about skunks is they will not attack your pets, but if you have a dog like I did, who will go after them, they will spray. So that's the issue. So coming up next is my experience as a homeowner on the capture and release of a skunk. This is the exact trap I purchased here in Canada at Canadian Tire. This is a 2-pack. This is the larger trap shown. They have another smaller one that comes with it, depending on what size animal you want to catch. But this was the one recommended for the skunks, so I bought it, and I'll show you it in action. That's coming up next. I knew the skunk would be in that area because my neighbor had seen it in that exact spot wandering around in and out of the garden there. So that's where I set the trap. I had cooked up some chicken with some barbecue sauce and some garlic and scattered it around the grass in a trail leading up to the actual cage, and a few pieces in the cage, and then right at the very, very back. So the skunk is right now looking for more pieces of small chicken along the grass, and so in reality what happened is the skunk went in the cage halfway, turned around, went back, went around the grass, but the next time came right into the cage, and stepped on the lever that drops the door. According to the experts, you have to cover the cage. That'll calm the animal down and hopefully keep it from spraying you. It pretty much needs a target, apparently, to point at in order to spray. So the experts say this will calm them down, and the method is to approach very slowly with a sheet or a cover held up like this, so that the skunk sees less movement. Apparently skunks do not see that well in the first place. So this is me attempting to do what the experts say in order to cover the skunk. The skunk in this video is clearly irritated. He'll stomp his feet and step forward at me and so on, but so far has not turned to spray. I just barely got the cover on top of the cage in time, and then I run away like a little girl. But then the skunk retreats underneath the the first cover, and here I come now with the second cover in order to cover the rest of the cage. So the skunk is less aggravated this time and doesn't see me or doesn't seem to see me to the same extent, now hiding behind the first half of the cover, and I get the second half. After that, the skunk calms down, and there I am with the pole and the grab bar covering it up full. So here's a little trick I figured out later. When the trap door is down like that, the skunk can't see through that end. Next time, I'm going to turn that cage the other way so I can approach the skunk using the trap door as a screen. That'll be helpful because this one did not go as smoothly as I wanted. I'm using a pole with a claw on it in order to be able to adjust the drape without the skunk biting me through the cage. So here I am. I've lifted the cage up, and I'm putting it in my special box that I built on the trailer hitch. And now I'm going to use the claw in order to pull the drape down. Try to keep that skunk calm for transport. So here we are. I've arrived out in an isolated area way out in the country, and I'm ready to release the skunk. I'm pulling the cage out of the carrier box and dropping it down. I've got my helmet on in order to, if the skunk does spray me, then it won't get on my face and eyes. Pulling the drape back here, and the skunk is hiding right at the back and is quite unaware at this point in time that the door is wide open and he can take off. But let's see, after a minute or so, I pull back the drape even more and more, and revealing more and more sunlight. And watch now as he becomes comfortable that yes, the way is actually clear. And wanted to turn back there for a second, but no, he turns now and heads out the cage to freedom. So as the experts predicted, using this method, the skunk never did spray, and I was able to get it released. So a week later, another skunk showed up. I got him in the trap. This time I wasn't so lucky on the skunk spraying. I approached this trap from the back, so directly at the steel door there. I had a cover on, held up, and I had my helmet and face mask on. So what happened is I approached, he got scared, and he turned and sprayed the back of that steel door on the trap. So the air was quite full of smell from the spray. However, none really got on me. I'd rather it didn't happen. In any event, I got the cover over the cage and give him a bit of a break, and then was able to take the cage away. So because of the protective cloth that I had on, and the fact that the steel door was in the way, there was no residual effect of the spray on my clothing or anything. So not as bad as everybody thinks. So the lesson here is make sure that you have that cover up, and use the procedure outlined in here to make sure that you do everything possible to protect yourself from being directly sprayed in on your body or especially your face. So that was a little postscript.